Hello guys, welcome to our channel. Today's topic is understanding different types of subsystems present in Simulink library browser. So in today's video, we will see about different subsystems except variant subsystem, model referencing and for each subsystem. We will have separate videos on these three subsystems. So let's get started. To start with, let's first understand why subsystems are used. So to explain the concept of subsystem, I am using this previous logic which we have created for a counter. I have to go to each and every block to understand this logic is nothing but a counter logic. And when I want to use multiple counters, the model will not be in model form. So instead of that, we can simply combine all this logic into a subsystem. So when we put all our logic inside subsystem, it will look something like this. And we can simply name this subsystem as a counter. So this way I need not go and see whatever is present inside this subsystem. We can simply understand that the logic inside this subsystem is a counter. Since this subsystem is added only for visualization purpose, this is a virtual subsystem. That means execution of the logic is exactly same as what it was earlier. You can convert this subsystem into atomic subsystem by changing a block parameter and treat as atomic unit. So when we consider this subsystem as atomic subsystem, that means the logic inside this subsystem is treated as a single unit and it is executed as a whole. So in this case, this subsystem becomes a non-virtual subsystem, and any subsystem which is executing conditionally or has treated as atomic unit are non-virtual subsystems. It is quite simple to differentiate between virtual and non-virtual subsystems by just observing their border thickness. So border thickness of atomic or non-virtual subsystem is thicker than the normal subsystem. Also, all the conditionally executing subsystems are by default atomic and non-virtual. So if we go and check block parameters of this conditionally executing subsystem, the treat as atomic unit checkbox is by default checked. Let's see functionality of each of these conditionally executing subsystems one by one. We will start with enable subsystem. Enable subsystem executes whenever the parameter connected to enable port is boolean true. In enable subsystem there is a block called enable. It has properties like state when enabling, held or reset. Held means whenever this subsystem is enabled, the logic will start executing from its previous state when it was last enabled. If we select this as reset, it will reset all the states and start executing as if a new simulation has started. For the sake of simulation, I have put the state when enabling parameter as held in one of the enabled subsystem, and in another enabled subsystem I have kept it as reset. Both the subsystem have same logic inside it except that enabled state, and I will use the same enable trigger to both the systems, and let's observe how the output varies. Let's simulate this model. So if you observe this plot carefully, both the subsystem have same output until first time it gets disabled and again it gets enabled. When the subsystem gets enabled once again, at that time the first subsystem in which we have selected state as held, it will start counting from the same count where it has left earlier, but the subsystem in which we have selected states as reset, system will reset and start counting again from 1. Next subsystem is triggered subsystem. The functionality of this subsystem is exactly same as that of enabled subsystem. The only difference is this logic inside this subsystem will be executed only at the rising edge of the triggered parameter. That means only when this subsystem gets triggered. So let's simulate this model. So when the parameter change to the triggered port changes to 1, at that time only this subsystem will execute. Next subsystem is enabled and triggered subsystem. To execute logic inside this subsystem, we need to have both enabled and triggered conditions satisfied at the same time. Let's try simulating this model. So the logic inside this subsystem will execute only when enabled and triggered conditions are satisfied. Let's make its enable port as 0 and check what happens when we trigger this subsystem. So there is no impact. Next subsystem is resetable subsystem. So whenever we have a reset block present inside a subsystem, at that time if the parameter connected to reset port is triggered, at that time all the states inside resetable subsystem gets reset and subsystem will start executing as if a new simulation has been started. So let's simulate this model. So if we observe the plot, the subsystem was executing normally. When we get the reset trigger, at that time a logic inside subsystem will reset and it will start counting again. Next subsystem is function call subsystem. I have connected a function call generator with sample time of 10. So this block will generate function call at each 10 samples. Let's simulate this model. Because of its sample time, the model has executed and it has counted till 11. The function call at simulation start time is also considered in counting. Next subsystem is for iterator subsystem. The states when starting, held and reset, these are exactly similar to enabled subsystem. Here we can write the iteration limit. So the iteration limit is nothing but at each execution how many times the logic inside this subsystem shall execute. So for our simulation purpose we have kept stop time as 0. That means this subsystem will execute only for one sample. And since our for iterator block we have kept iteration limit as 10, our system should count till 10. Next type of subsystem is if action subsystem. So action port of each of these subsystem are connected to output of if block. So if first condition is satisfied, then the logic inside this subsystem will execute, otherwise the second subsystem will execute. Output of both the subsystem are merged together and we have considered only one output from this logic. Let's try simulating this. Since the else part is executed, the output is 6. When we satisfy the first condition, the output is 2. The logic switches as and when different conditions are satisfied. Next subsystem is switch case action subsystem. This logic is exactly similar to the switch case statement in C. There are different cases and the cases are identified as per the input to the switch case block. So whichever case is true, that particular subsystem will execute. Let's try simulating this logic. So now the second case is true, that's why second subsystem is executing. When we select first case, the first case will execute, and if we select any other state, then default case will execute. So this is it for today's video. If this video has helped you in any sort, please like and subscribe for more such simulation videos. Thank you.